Hello, everybody. Nine Anadez. How's everybody doing today? It is Sunday, the eve before our Thanksgiving. So, how's everybody? How was your weekend? Did everybody make it through okay? 2 thumbs up if you did. Today is going to be another Lying for Jesus Day, I'm afraid. And if you're new to this channel, like me, love me, share me, because you're in for a surprise, if nothing else, today. A lot of people don't know what lying for Jesus is all about, but my hangers-on certainly do. That's right. So anyway, like me, love me, share me. Don't forget to subscribe, and let's get into lying for Jesus, shall we? It is Sunday, and Republican Jesus is pushing you down, shoving you in a locker, and stealing your homes, your farms, and your health. Apparently, Republican Jesus put the Mango Moose Knuckle in office to what? Starve your babies? Tell you vaccines are bad? They're giving them babies doses big enough for a horse. Jars full of that stuff. Actually, over the 18 years, they're getting like 60 drops of water. Over 18 years, so... But he went to Walter Reed to make sure he got his CVID booster and his over 65 pneumonia shot for free. You won't get it for free. Your Republican Jesus is the one responsible for putting him in office, apparently. And by extension, put folks like Voldemort Miller, Russell Vogt, Pig Hegseth, Krusty the... let's just call her the goat assassin and adulterer, Scammy Joe Bondi, put all them in office to make sure that the government runs solely by the executive, the Mango Moose Knuckle himself, and nobody else. It was prophesized, wasn't it? You kept saying he was heaven sent. God sent him to help you. Help you what? Reach the other side? MAGA, you watch Trump on his social media in 5 to 10 increment clips to tell you how many ways he was going to screw you and how hard he was going to do it. He told you there would be a punishment for women that had miscarriages or were seeking abortions, for their doctors, and for anybody who knew about it, including the cab driver. He put huge tariffs on the world, and now your main food source and revenues are going under. Since your Republican Jesus put him in office January 20th, did you know that 178 family farms have gone bankrupt? But you see, that was the plan all along. I believe in my heart of hearts, for entertainment purposes only, that Trump really wants these big farms to go under so he can keep his promises to those big corporations. They are sweeping in, and they are doing huge land grabs for pennies on the dollar. And Trump doesn't give a shit who that land is being sold to. Remember when you said the Chinese are buying up all the American farms? Well, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, they actually tried to block foreign investment. But did you listen? That was in a New York Times article, July 8th, 2024. But did you pay any attention? No, because you couldn't possibly have a black Asian woman as your president. I mean, God forbid. God forbid. And Tim Walz, you said he's gay. So what? So is Scott Bessent. So is Tim Scott, in my opinion. But you don't seem to mind them, no, do you? Just saying. But did you pay attention? No, because my daddy's daddy, they all voted Republican. Not, I don't think I know a single soul who voted for a Democrat. But they all praise John F. Kennedy. But it was under Joe Biden that farm incomes rose. Biden had to put out huge payments to farmers in his first 2 years because of the CVID that was rampant around the world and the shipping backlogs. Year one of Biden's term, he put $28,712,943,000 to the farmers. Trump's first year, he put $14,061,397,000 to the farmers. Year two, Biden gave the farmers $16 $81,191,000 to the farmers. Trump gave them $16,294,357,000 to the farmers, and in year 3, Biden gave them $12,090,026,000. Trump gave them $26,316,826,000, almost as much as Biden put out in the first year because of the pandemic. But Trump, he started that tariff bullshit, and he had to make sure them farmers didn't go under, but now he doesn't give a shit. He don't care. He's going to put more tariffs on China. So who else is he going to screw in the United States? All this money was because of the pandemic in Joe's first 3 years. But by the 4th year, farmers were doing pretty good. They were doing pretty good. Their incomes were rising and everything else. Yields were back up. People were buying their shit. But they also don't seem to want to mention about all the subsidies, the crop insurance, loan financing that the government pays farmers, including the millionaire farmers. Not to mention Trump's new purge, he is rounding up all of those farm workers. All the new construction sites seem to be awfully quiet these days because ICE has gone people hunting. They're all camoed up, armed up, masked up, and they're hungry for their bounty. The government of Iowa, Kim Reynolds, has got to be the biggest asshat in the governors of the United States. Her state, I swear to God, is just about to go bankrupt now, but she's still singing his praises. Her Lord and Master, the Mango Moose Knuckle. That would explain her approval ratings lately. That was 28% in July, and now it's 26% since August. And she and the rest of the MAGAs are the same. Nebraska is almost bankrupt. I think they got maybe 6-7 weeks left before they go tits up. Nippolus erecti, sorry. They refuse to see that the 6-year-old with both hands in the people's cookie jar, chocolate all over his face, his hands are thick with chocolate, and he said, "Oh, it wasn't me. That was the other guy." And all them MAGAs are saying, "Oh, right, that's right. Must have been Joe Biden that did all that." I think Republican Jesus was sent by Lucifer himself to teach you all a lesson and to test you all because you fell for the scam. What would real Jesus do? Real Jesus would not hate his neighbor. Real Jesus would not hate the color of his skin. Real Jesus is not a Christian. Real Jesus was Jewish. Real Jesus had dark skin and long hair and brown eyes. He fed the hungry. Real Jesus clothed the naked. He healed the sick. And he was not impressed when the oligarchs of the day did business at the temple. Which brings me to this point, by the way of the back door. The Mango Moose Knuckle. According to your logic, Republican Jesus and his sky daddy there personally sent him to you to be the president. And there he was with Elon Musk exchanging money in the People's House/Temple at the White House car lot. He sat in the Oval Office getting millions of dollars for his Bitcoin. He had the gold card, the platinum card on one side and the gold card on the other, $100,000 minimum to buy your citizenship. Up for sale for anyone who can afford the price. Doesn't matter where they come from. More Russian oligarchs, maybe. Maybe they got more room at Trump Tower for them. I don't know. But got the money for extorting countries, for access to the great American office of the president, bastardizing the Constitution. And really, in my opinion, it's all to eliminate the poor so they won't be a burden on the government. And he did all this from the temple/White House. And what do you get? What do you get? You MAGAs are blaming Democrats for this shutdown. Who shut the government down, really? Mini Micah Got No Johnson shut it down September 30th. The day before, it was supposed to go to make sure that the government wouldn't close down. September 3rd, sent everybody home for a week. Then, when the Democrats stayed on the Hill to try and save your health care, your veterans benefits, your food programs for your children, grandchildren, moms, dads, seniors, the veterans, the Democrats are trying to negotiate, but Mini Mike sent everybody home and sent them away for another week. The Dems, again, tried to stay and fight for your health care and your right to live. Now Mini Mike has the Capitol locked. The doors are locked. How in the hell is anybody supposed to negotiate and get back to the table when there's only one side at a table that's out on the steps now because they can't get in the building? The MAGAs were well versed in all the taglines to use for and the sound bites to use for the closure. Oh, the Dems want health care for illegals. Whoa, stop right fucking there, stop. Undocumented folks are prevented from getting any Medicare, Medicaid, or food assistance from the government because they are not citizens. This is not a thing. But look how Trump and his admin fell for the demonized Haitian people. And they were all threatened. Their lives were threatened. They were run out of towns because they're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets. Yeah. Demonized everybody. Hate towards anyone who doesn't look like them or their fake Jesus. They hunted down and now are terrorizing them by thugs with no training, a lot of hate, and based on make-believe premise that you guys are pumping out that all these immigrants are rapists, murderers, drug dealers, and MS-13 gang members. 90% of those folks are hardworking, church-going folks that don't know why Republican Jesus hates them so much. They go to church and pray to Jesus, and what do they get? Trump is the one who hates them and has always hated them. That's why he sought out Voldemort, the reincarnation of the little mustache. That's why he picked Pam Bondi, because she is a proven liar and willing to take an alleged bribe from Trump while she was running for AG to squash his Trump University fraud case. She knows what's in the Trumpenstein file because she's read it gleefully. See how many Democrats were in it. And anything to do with Trump, she made sure that name was deleted and or redacted. Anything to do with Katie Johnson, whose ghost is rising up again along with Maria, who were 13 and 12, respectively, when allegedly the Mango Moose Knuckle R.A.P. ED'd them. Kashyap Patel, the podcaster who sucked Trump's thumb and wrote a kid's book for him and made Trump a king. And Kashyap is on his way to raiding each one of Trump's 61 perceived enemies' homes. And they're going to do raids on them with the FBI because Trump doesn't like them. These guys are all doing Lucifer's bidding, although they call him Republican Jesus. Well, I do. They just shortened it to Jesus for short. To dupe the flock. Guys like Peter Thiel is stealing your personal information like bank accounts and routing numbers, social security numbers, your medical documents, so they can find out if you left your state to get your lady bits looked at. Did you get an abortion/miscarriage care? Medicare records, voting records, your affiliation. And it will all be available to the executive himself for one little click of a button. From the President, Vice President, Secretary of State, DOJ, and Homeland Security, making shit up to terrorize America, one blue city and one blue state at a time. They, the Republican Jesus, and Lucifer are working overtime to terrorize Americans. They are doing this to warn other Republicans to back the fuck off and call in false reports on their neighbors, and then don their Sunday best and go to church and praise that jerk who was apparently appointed by Republican God, Jesus, Daddy, whoever, who is anointed the guy who said he's going to defund every Democrat bill, every Democrat city, state, and he does not give one single fuck if Republicans get hurt in the melee by these cuts, because sooner or later, all of you, except the very wealthy, of course, will be collateral damage to that bastard and his buddy Russell Vogt, who every one of those policies was written by, that Kamala Harris and Tim Walz told you about in detail. This war, as the Mango Moose Knuckle seems to think is going on, points out that it was prophesized by Vogt, who he didn't know while he was running and didn't know anything about Project 2025, from tariffs to gutting healthcare, veterans benefits, Social Security, because they need that money to fund their evil wish list. That's it for today. Naughty Nana loves you. Be good, be safe. Take care of you first. And if you're going to pray, pray to the real Jesus, not Lucifer's buddy in chief. Naughty Nana loves you. Love me, like me, share me. Don't forget to subscribe. Hangers on. Welcome newcomers. Take care of you first so you can take care of somebody else. This is bullshit.